Hello again, I am Blunty. This is the Corsair MM800 Polaris RGB mousepad thingy, and much like the Razer Firefly, which I've also reviewed before, it's a mousepad that has RGB lights that sort of go around the outside. You can have it set as a colour, you can have it throb, you can have it dance with a multitude of spectrum going around and around and around and around in a hypnotic way. Unlike the Razer version of the same sort of idea though, Corsair were smart enough to actually put a USB port on this. Of course, it's connected by USB anyway to get power for the light show, and so you can control the light show. And one of the things I ragged on Razer's version of the same kind of product for is just, why wouldn't you put a USB port right there for your mouse or a thumb drive or anything convenient? I'm taking complete credit for this idea, by the way. I'm assuming that somewhere along the line a Corsair engineer saw my video on the Razer Firefly thing and they're like, well, we're already working on a product bit like that. Why don't we just take Blunty's advice, put a USB port right there? Because it's smart and good. This isn't a review of this mousepad anyway. I mean, it's a mousepad, the surface is nice, it's nice and slick, and the mouse goes whoosh, 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 but I had a better idea when this came in for reviews, so let me show you. Now, isn't that more interesting than a mousepad? Okay, yeah, it's a little bit of slap and dash mod work, but I don't think it's too bad for the work of, well, let's call it 4 hours fiddling around. Alright, so let me run you through this. Basically what we got here is what used to be my little mini ITX machine, little anvil. Long-time viewers around here may know it. Inside that is a Gigabyte GAZ170N Gaming 5 motherboard, which it's been in 2 previous builds, none of which you could ever show off how good this motherboard looks. So that was reason number 1 for, doing it this way. Also, there's a new all-in-one liquid water cooler I've got running here, which is the Gamerstorm Captain 120EX, which I really quite like. It's a simple little sort of single-fan all-in-one water cooler. Nothing too special about how it's put together or anything like that, except for the bit that goes on the CPU. Looks a hell of a lot nicer than most other all-in-ones. A lot of them just have a little disc or a square or something. Maybe got the logo on there, maybe it lights up. As you can see on this one, it's actually got a little throbbing light, which is cool, but it's also got a little piece of hardline tubing coming out of the thing and wrapping around. It doesn't really need to be there for the thing to be functional, it just looks cool. So if you do want a nice and simple all-in-one water cooler to use on your rig, but you want it to look cool, you want it, got a window in the case, or you're doing something like this, that is brilliant. And it's doing a fantastic job. I've got my temps up on my screen here right now. We're looking at 38 degrees-ish, a little bit below 40 degrees sitting at idle, but here's where I point out that the actual radiator is virtually blocked off. The way I've mounted it on the back there, it has to sort of suck air in through little gaps on the side for the fan to pull it through there. So properly mounted in a case designed to host a all-in-one water cooling radiator rig type thing, it will perform much better than that, but I'm surprised how well it's doing, even though it's basically choked. I've also got here a brand new item which arrived today. In fact, it arrived at my door as I was working on this, and I went, hey, I'll put it in this. It's the Gigabyte Windforce GTX 1050 Ti, and I also have got the regular 1050 non-Ti version, which I'll be making some videos about soon. So if you have any suggestions about what you want to see in those videos, one versus the other and all that kind of stuff, let me know. But yeah, all in all, I'm pretty damn happy with how it all came together. So interesting is for a little Corsair mousepad, basically. If I were to make this a permanent rig and spend more than an afternoon fiddling around with it, I would do a couple of things. I would get a video card that maybe had some lights on it so it looks cool, sort of front facing here. I would get some of Corsair's LED memory, which I have also recently reviewed, get some of that in red, pop right there, a little bit of extra light to throb around underneath the red of that. I would certainly find a better way to mount the radiator so it has more air cooling, little standoffs on the back. That's, really simple to do. I don't have any, which is why I didn't use any. I would also probably switch out the power supply here for one of the smaller SFX power supplies or anything, not because it needs to be small, but to reduce the weight of this thing. I would then maybe find a way to mount this on a Visa mount, like my monitor is here, so I can sort of have it hanging sort of in open space, which I think would be kind of cool. So let me know what you guys think. Would you ever try something like this yourself? It's not too hard. I mean, I did the entire job with a screwdriver, pliers, and a Dremel. Well, not even a Dremel, it was an off-brand thing. What is it? It's actually a Rockwell rotary tool, but you know, just like every tissue is a Kleenex and every adhesive medical strip is a Band-Aid, every rotary tool is a Dremel, because you can't be a modder without a Dremel. Well, you can, kind of, because this is a Rockwell rotary tool, not a Dremel branded rotary tool, because, well, the Dremel ones are more expensive, and I got this for a real bargain, so what are you going to do? And as far as I know, and I did do a little bit of Googling when I first had the idea, no one has actually done this before, which is bewildering to me because it seemed like an obvious idea. At least to me it seemed like an obvious idea. I mean, I first had the idea way back when I got the Razer Firefly mouse mats in, and the only reason I didn't wind up modding that is because that went underneath my case for a little bit of undercase lighting, because it turns out that my Corsair Air 240 case was pretty much exactly the right size to sit that mouse mat underneath, and this one too, because this is the same physical size pretty much, so it looked really cool underneath my case. So I was reminded again when the Corsair guys sent me this to check out. I went, oh, that's right, I had the idea, I can do it with this thing. So to the Corsair people, I hope you don't mind that I drilled through your review product here and didn't review it as a mousepad, but instead used it as a basis for a mod here. Just quietly, I don't think the Corsair people are going to be that upset that I did this to their review product. I mean, have you ever been to a Corsair booth at an expo or show or something? I love modding. But anyway, I thought that would be a moderately interesting little project to share with you guys. So let me know, what do you think? And should I turn it, should I make plans to make a permanent, more rigid, less sort of hacked together? Because a lot of this is held together with zip ties and Velcro tape and things like that. So it's not super rigid, is what I'm saying here. I won't be able to take this to shows and show it off in Corsair's booth or Gigabyte's booth or something like that. You know, the potential is there, either for me to put more effort into it, or for a modder with greater skills than I to steal my idea and make something with it. If you do steal my idea, just give me credit or something. Link back to this video saying, here's where I got the idea. Mine's so much better than mine because I know what I'm doing, and Nate's a complete gibbering idiot with a Dremel. With a what's the brand again? With a Rockwell rotary tool. I've had a lot of caffeine today, guys.